Now, when it comes to building an aesthetic physique, not all exercises are equal. Sure, the lat pull down has its place, but if you want that wide, powerful V taper, that kind of back that makes your waist smaller and your shoulders broader, pull ups are king. Here's why. Pull ups force you to lift your entire body weight. That means your lats, traps, rhomboids, biceps, and even your core are all firing together. This full body movement creates dense, functional muscle that creates a great foundation that looks impressive both in and out of the gym. You know? Lat pull downs, on the other hand, they keep you locked in a machine. You can't grab anything, you can't release your legs, you're locked, You're not activating that core, which is very important. They isolate the lats, but they don't demand the same stability, grip strength, or raw pulling power. You're building muscle, yes, but not the kind of muscle that shapes your body into that classic aesthetic silhouette that we all want to achieve as men. So it's pretty simple. I just want you guys to think about it. Every rep of a pull-up stretches your wingspan and carves definition into your upper back. Over time, this builds that iconic V shape, broad shoulders tapering down to a tight waist. That's the physique that turns heads, guys. Simply to put it at that, yes. So if aesthetics are your goal, don't just sit down at the pull-down machine. Step up to the bar, master the pull-up. Because the bar doesn't just build strength, it sculpts that kind of physique that speaks for itself. So be a man, Be that soldier. Do what your ancestors did. Don't be a little pussy. Don't lat pull down. Do what our ancestors did as men, Be a man. Don't be scared. Take risks. Get out your comfort zone. And I assure you, you will achieve that physique that you want very dearly. Okay? Now, pull ups are just way, way better than lat pull downs because they just require a lot more overall strength in the body, in the back especially, but in the core, your core is actually stabilizing and it's giving you that functional movement, which is very natural to the human body to be hanging off a bar because we used to be monkeys. Actually, I don't know about that, but yeah, our ancestors used to hang off trees, do pull ups off trees, that actually builds proper grip strength. But when you compare that to doing a lat pull down, you're not actually hanging, you're just pulling weight down. Whereas in the pull up, you're hanging and you're pulling yourself up using your own body weight, which is a very big ask if you're asking me, especially if you weigh a lot more. But it's just a lot more complete. It's a more complete exercise. You're building a better, stronger back, a more natural back when compared to lat pull downs, which is more artificial. And your core isn't replicating the strength that your back is gaining from the lat pull down, which means your posture isn't going to be as good as it is if you're gaining your back muscles from doing pull-ups, because it goes vice versa. So when you're doing pull-ups, you're actually gaining that core muscle as well as the back muscles that you're gaining. Whereas if you're doing lat pull downs, you're only getting your back muscles, if that makes sense. Now, it also just translates better to real world movements, Let's say you're walking down a fucking alleyway or maybe a mountain and you trip over and you're hanging with one arm on a rock. Do you really think that lat pull downs is going to help you get yourself up? Or do you think that experience of pull ups and actually manually pulling your body up with all that body weight is doing you any better? Which one do you think will save you if you train it more? Which one do you think will save you if you train it more? Lat pull downs or pull ups? I think it's pretty obvious that it would be lat pull downs because you're more aware of that movement. You've been doing that movement for months now, which means your body knows it, your core has already got that strength. and boom, pull yourself up with the adrenaline as well on top of that, and boom, you're good, boys. Well, obviously, it's not 100% that you're good, but there's a lot better chance of getting through that moment alive, basically, to put it simply as that. Pull-ups don't only just recruit the lats. No, 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 no. Pull-ups also build your biceps, rhomboids, traps, and stabilizers a lot more than lat pull-downs do. And I said this already, but I'm going to say it again. It's because it's a more functional movement for your body, and it's a great compound movement to pull yourself up instead of pulling the weight towards you, which doesn't give you that strength, and your core will not activate as well as it does, or at all even, when compared to doing the pull-ups. Also, your grip strength as well, like hanging from a bar builds some nasty grip strength. There's just so many positives when it comes to doing pull-ups. You're training muscles that you never even thought you could train. You're training muscles that you're not even training doing lat pull downs. So there's just so many positives when it comes to pull-ups. Especially even if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete and you're doing lat pull downs, I'm sorry, but that's very bad for you, man. You have to do pull-ups because core strength is very, very important, especially as an athlete. If you want to get an aesthetic physique, pull-ups is the way to go. Why do you think soccer players look so good? It's because they're doing these functional movements like pull-ups, like dips. They don't do exercises that don't work their core because it ought to be worthless to them and useless. Thank you all for watching.